Welcome to the gaming. Welcome to Gamers Two Cents, where we're the gaming bros, not the gaming pros. I'm here with Comrade. Half is out again today.
Fucked up
Uh,
that intro so badly. Are you gonna restart that, or are we just gonna go with it?
yeah, we're gonna go with it. Anyways,
Fuck me. All right.
so yeah, let's get going. So the first
But
topic
we're
we're
not
gonna
the gaming pros. We're just the gaming bros. Woo.
yes, Comrade's quite sleepy. Anyways, so we're gonna go on to the first topic is going to be Assassin's Creed,
I love
developed.
Assassin's Creed.
Yes, we do. As Creed, developed by Netflix, they say has officially Assassin's Creed has officially begun production in Rome, set in ancient Rome in 64 AD. Live action series. Um, I care nothing for this because it's done by Netflix. Anything with Netflix attached to it, I'm immediately turned off. I am a limp immediately. Anything connected with Netflix. So yeah, this is more of a Comrade thing, but me, fuck Netflix. Go ahead, Comrade. Wait.
I'm more interested in it. Like I said, the only thing that I'm very confused about is it's set in ancient Rome,
Oh, here it
64
comes.
AD.
Here it
No, no.
comes.
Well, no, they released the game, the Assassin's Creed Origins, which is Origins being how the Assassin's Order was created and founded. That was set in 49 BC. So BC. So, and then now they're setting in Rome AD. So, they had the Assassin's Creed Origins, and then they had the Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which was set in, I forget, like around this time period, I believe, sometime around here. So is this going to be like a separate story, or is this going to be the same one as they told in? Was this going to be something similar to what they told in the Greece one? I don't know. It's going to be weird. So I'm confused. This is going to be, I'm assuming, an entirely different story. So I'm a little bit interested, but the last movie that they did was absolutely awful as well. So uh, we'll see how this works out. That's all I really got for it. I'm very disappointed in the last movie that they made. So hopefully this one goes better. Back to you, Sub.
Yes.
Unless Sub is dead somehow.
Moving on, we're gonna speak about Liza P. They had posted recently that they had sold 4 million. Congrats to them. Congrats. So, uh, got anything to say, Comrade? Nothing really, right?
If Hap wasn't still murdered by his cat, I'm sure he'd be very happy about that since he was able to play this.
Yes. So we're just talking about other sales pretty much. Next is Resident Evil. They had a Jesus officially posted that released. It was released on February 27th, and it now exceeds 6 million units, the fastest title in the Resident Evil franchise. Right? Oh my gosh, I'm sleepy.
Yeah, the fastest selling.
Yeah, fastest seller. Yeah. So yeah, they people are just these companies are especially recently quick to say how much they sold it. It's they're pretty excited. So and they also plan to release additional game content as they say here. Pretty simple, nothing too deep. And also we got Crimson Desert. Of course, they're gonna be happy that their game sold 2 million so far.
I
Over.
mean, that's actually very crazy because they've just only been released for what, a couple of days. Crimson
Uh,
Desert, so pretty good for them.
Says we will listen closely to the wide range of feedback shared by a community and work to make improvements quickly.
Mhm.
So that's funny
There's
because our next topic
yeah.
is says fellow Gray Mains. It has been a little over 36 hours since we would like to start by sincerely thank you. Okay, let's freaking move on. So they are now, in particular, we are aware of the discomfort many players have experienced with the controllers, and are currently preparing a patch to address this. So, not to read too deep into this, from what I heard, you have to manually do a lot of shit. And what's it called?
Yes, basically, yes. It's
Um,
it's it's very. A lot of people are expressing that it's very confusing because apparently you have to press multiple button inputs to do certain combos and things like that. So certain combos you have to press like two, up to two, maybe three or four buttons at the same time in order to do certain combos and moves. And people are expressing like it's very difficult to do that on PC. It's very difficult to do that on a controller. It's people. It's confusing people basically. So that's the biggest discontent that I've heard. But it's sort of like if you played their MMO, then you kind of know that that's kind of what the MMO is also going into. There's a lot of like combos and stuff like that in it. So like the people who knew about the MMO that Pearl Abyss made kind of expected some degree of this, but people who came into it the first time probably have never seen this level of combos in a MMO at all, or in a single player game, really. So I'll bring it back to you, Sab. I kind of cut you off with your thoughts there.
no, you're fine. Um, it's not about that. It's about it's streamlining something, right? So they don't. I don't think they've ever made a single player game. I saw this coming personally because they're trying to make a multiplayer game, which requires a lot of things to be done, right? And from what I heard, you have to do a lot of tedious things. It's like tedious. And you play a game not to be tedious, right? It's like, when you play, from what I heard, like you play other games, when you collect gold, right?
Yeah.
You had to collect kind of like almost like each one of them. And in a normal game they know what to do, right? You just press one button and it picks up the whole damn entire thing. So that's an
Yeah, and this
example of doing. And it's not the combos. It's everything. Everything is just tedious to a point.
well, I think this brings you back to like kind of like what I was saying when I've been hearing a lot of people who play the game now saying is it feels like it was intended to be an expansion to their MMO. That's what it feels like basically, because a lot of the same base mechanics and everything is the same as the MMO. So I'm assuming that's what this is. It's just like they made they're intended to make an expansion, but they decided to try to for whatever reason, like I don't know what the reasoning was internally, they decided to make a single player game instead, and they ended up keeping a lot of like the tedious mechanics that are in MMOs in the single player game, and now it's like showing why there's a lot of those mechanics aren't usually in single player games. You know, they don't translate as well in a MMO from an MMO where the entire purpose is really to make yourself grind for in dungeons and grind for resources to become strong enough to fight like epic world bosses with friends and your guild or whatever. Versus in a single player game, that's not usually always the intent. So it's I think that's showing basically because they've been for a while in the MMO company and they have like other mobile games and things like that on their belt, but they've never really done a large scale single player project of this size basically. So this is their first crack at it, and this is their interpretation of one. I'll bring it back to you, Sab.
Actually, yeah, well, actually, since we're on fucking, what the fuck?
Are you okay, Sab? You sound very confused.
Uh, yes, this shit was
Is the
confusing me.
Alzheimer's kicking in?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we're talking about Crimson Desert continuing. Yeah. So actually, let's talk about this. Um, this game turned out not to be. So far, it's a good game, but it's not a strong
Yeah.
game. And people, this is where I'm talking about. Gamers don't play games, right? They're like they're getting mad because there's actual criticism to it, which every game has, right? And people are thinking that it should be rated as one of the best. It should be rated probably. It sounds like from what gamers are saying, it should be on the level of Resident Evil Requiem, but it's not, right? So this is a whole This is a whole this is a whole drama that doesn't need to be spoken about, and I can understand because this is something not new. When you get a video game that's stuffed with a lot of things, people think, "Oh yeah, they're putting in the time, right?" But then it's like you play what's that game called, Karma? The Assassin's Creed one? Viking.
Which one?
Viking.
Viking Valhalla.
There's a lot of shit in that. Why isn't that rated high? Like people need to understand that you gotta live in reality that Crimson Desert is stuffed to the brim to do things just to take your time. You That's what people complained about the latest Final Fantasy. Forget the Rebirth. People were saying, "Yeah, great game. Holy shit, it's overstuffed with a bunch of things, tedious things, things that are not good." Just because you stuff something doesn't mean everything's going to be good, right? Like some games can pull it off, some games can't, and people need to live in reality. Yeah, that's why people got mad. There was people who got mad saying, "Oh, why are you mad that it's over so and so many hours, Rebirth, and it's still a good game, right?" But the thing is, once you start playing the game and understanding what is the trash, basically, it's like the fat. You know, when you cut up meat, chicken or meat, right? You're not gonna have the fat really there. Most people cut off those cartilage, those parts that don't is not important. It's just there, right? Like is I feel like Crimson Dead is that type of game. People just see a nice meal, but it's like once you get down to the nitty gritty, you got there are gonna be those pinpoints of weakness. So, what do you think, Conrad? You still getting this game?
Yeah, I'm still interested in the game. There's the problem I've seen a lot of people, like if you look, for example, on Steam, like a lot of the,
All right, I'm
like I
looking.
agree with you.
Go
There's a
ahead.
lot of, there's some reviews on here where it's like, uh, the people play like less than an hour of the game and say, this is a terrible game. It's like you barely even play the game. It's like why are you giving it a bad review? You barely even play the game. Like, uh, and that goes along with what you're saying. Like a lot of people like just instantly know that they don't like the game when they've only played like less than an hour of the game. Like you
I see.
barely even got out of the tutorial at that point. Like
Mostly positive.
yeah, but that's I'm reading like some of the negative games exact, some negative reviews of it. But it is mostly positive, yeah. And the people are saying like they enjoy the game. It's just the biggest criticism is that, like I said, the complexity of some of its button presses. There's a lot of people like the controls are too overly complicated, is what I've been seeing most of the criticisms of this game. And like I said, it's a lot of the fact that there are lots and lots of enemies, which is basically goes back to like the MMO. That when you're playing the MMO Pearl Abyss, the Black Desert, the entire premise of the game is basically you go to a lot of the premises. You go to the store, you craft your own shit ton of potions, and then you go out into the open world and you just AFK farm. Not entirely AFK, but you can AFK farm in some capacity to just grind resources and there's like just swarms of enemies, and the enemies are basically just cannon fodder. But if you don't have potions with you, they will wear you down. and you will get fucked up by them. And that's what a lot of what I'm seeing in this game is essentially they kind of tone that down a lot. But the same idea is there. It's like you need potions in this game, and people aren't used to having a single player game where you need potions, you need food, and it's like you have to mow down like hordes of enemies because they come at you in hordes. I think that's the biggest criticism is about a lot. Those are the biggest criticisms I've seen so far. Like I don't know. Like I said, I haven't tried it myself yet, but I intend to still try it out. But uh, I don't know. So, yeah, like I said, it's just I think this is a different type of game that single player game that people aren't used to, and they're confused.
I think. Remember what I said that when you take a multiplayer company to make single player, it doesn't really bode well, and they're not experts in it. Just like you take a single player company to make a multiplayer game, sometimes that doesn't
Hmm.
turn out well. Most of the time, it doesn't turn out well. I think this is it. People are getting. People are like, "Oh man, it's got a big world. Oh, it should be on the level of like Breath of the Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, right?" When you take those extreme comparisons, you start to believe in it, right? Rather than keep yourself in reality. How can this one company, I'm not being mean, be on the level of what Nintendo's been doing for so many years, right? It's an anomaly, right? It becomes an anomaly at that point. And this game is not an anomaly. It can't it's not a game that can keep up with Rockstar, right? You can't like even Rockstar, like I said, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead, they can't do everything, right? But it seems like they can do everything because they've been doing that for fucking pretty much our entire lives. You can't just say, "Oh, they made this MMO," then they can transfer that to the single player and say, "Man, yeah, this is a really good game," which might be their second game in this series compared to like a Grand Theft Auto that's been out for years, and then that experience will go to Red Dead Redemption, right? So those comparisons are
Hmm.
fucking just makes no sense, you know? This is where I say comparison is the theft of joy, and sometimes comparisons can really blind somebody. Like you gotta when you compare, like I do, right? You say I do, but I take it with where I gotta understand and play the game way more and understand the history and the mechanics and you know what I mean? Like if they
Yeah,
released another game, they'll probably get better, right? Because you have to streamline controls. Streamlining is
yeah,
good. You don't need complicated controls. Just because it has complicated controls doesn't mean it's a good game, right? Complexity doesn't always bode to being a good game. So
I don't think they made the game complicated with controls because they intended to because they thought it was going to make a good game. I think that because the game they wanted to put so much depth in the combat, the controls became complicated as a result. And this goes back to like harkens back to what you were saying is they are like I said a their expertise is in MMOs, and this it shows greatly in this single player game. Like they're like if Rockstar tried to make an MMO right now, they probably wouldn't make a good of an MMO as Pearl Abyss would. Like Pearl Abyss, like that I hate to say, but like I agree with you on that. Like Pearl Abyss as expertise is with MMOs, and that clearly shows in this single player game. Like it's different. Like if Rockstar comes, they're like I agree, they're like an expert in their field. But if they try to make like a full blown MMO, it wouldn't come out perfect. Like there'd be troubles, there'd be difficulties will come that come with that. So and it'll show. The cracks will show. So I agree with you on that. Yeah, that's it. It's I'm with you on that one.
it's funny because this game, the investors, there's a news going around that shows that investors, their stocks went down for Crimson Desert, right? And people don't understand how important that is because the investors thought there was so much hype around this shit that they thought this shit probably was gonna sell more than what it was supposed to. So far, 2 million. I'm pretty sure they were expecting like 8 million, 10 million, even more than that. Did that because this game is hyped. It's one of the bigger games of this year, and if it sold only 2 million, right, so far,
Yeah.
it didn't even sell as much as Resident Evil, which is 6 million, which was pretty much that news was broken last week or the beginning of this week. So was Crimson Desert. So think about it. It's like, was it really that hyped? I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, it shows that there's some high expectations with this game, and the reviews and people are talking about it. It was less than what it is. But yeah, that's just my talk about this. I don't need to play the game. I'm not interested in the game. Um, because I've seen these type of games before. They show a lot of shit and so little. Come on, everybody remembers Fable. Fable, the guy fucking promises a lot of shit. It's gonna be the greatest shit ever. You can do this, you can do that, you can do that, and he really didn't put everything in it. This is not the first time, and even before Fable, there were games. So don't believe everything that's shown, kiddies. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, let's move on, cause
Well, I think to harken back to you, you said that it didn't sell as much as Resident Evil. Didn't Resident Evil like sell like 5 million in its first 5 days, I believe,
6 million.
and 5, 6 million in its first 5 days? And Resident Evil, this game still has time for that. It's only been, when did it release? Just a few days ago, so it still could. It's
We
only
will
the
see.
first like what, 2 days that this game is released, so it still might reach those numbers.
Might. We'll see. It's getting a lot more negativity than Resident Evil. So we'll see. Well, let's move on. Next we're gonna talk about oh, this is good news, okay? This is something not that important, but it says Atlus will
I love the
increase the
news.
average salary monthly salary of its employees by 15% from April 2026. New graduate salary will increase from 30,000 yen to 330,000 a month, and fixed overtimes will be revised from 30 to 20 hours. Very simple. It comes from a Famitsu article that's all in Japanese. So Genki is the translator, pretty much. He's the reporter. He reports a lot of stuff from Japan. So yeah, that's good news. I think Atlus deserves it. Their games have been popping, even though they only make like one fucking game that I can say off the top of my head, which is Persona 5 Royal, which is from fucking PS3 days. But still, that sells very well. Um, yeah, congrats to them. Nothing else. I can move on from this. Comrade.
I mean, yeah, they are literally the Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, and Metaphor. That was the most recent game, Metaphor, if you remember that. Metaphor Refund Enzio.
Is that them?
Um, that was them, I believe, still.
Comrade, I have to check.
But basically, it's basically Persona still. Like they're the Persona game company. That's what Atlus does now. That's their big thing. Persona and Shin Megami Tensei, I believe, are set in the same universe. So, but this is good. That means that they're good, doing well. Like they're rewarding their employees, and I feel like that's a good thing. Uh, that's a solid bonus, and you know, rewarding. I think that's a good thing. Yeah, like you said, that's all I got really. Is
Metaphor?
Metaphor from Atlas?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes.
So don't ever question me on my gaming knowledge. Fuck
Uh,
you, saw. No,
I apologize, sir.
yeah, then you better be sorry. What's next? All right. Well, we wait for Sob to find the next
Give
topic.
me a moment.
Allow me to tell you how much
Yeah, tell
I
me.
love Persona from Atlas. Persona Royale. It's a very fun game. I enjoyed playing that a lot. I highly recommend it. Support, I say support the game, play the game,
All
and then
right,
maybe
moving
the
on.
Atlas company will get
Saudi
even more of a bonus,
Arabian
and we'll be even happier.
investment firm As the title says here, from Automaton, Saudi Arabian investment firm that owns SNK has acquired a significant stake in Capcom. Says electronic gaming development company EGDC, a Saudi-based investment firm, has acquired a large number of Capcom shares, according to GameBiz. Says it was disclosed that EGC now owns 5.03% stake in Capcom after acquiring a shit ton of shares. That's so people can see. I'm not much of a share guy. This shit, I view this as simple. You buy shares in the company, you own it to I think once you pass 50%, you own it. Some shit like that. But other than that, I think my response is this is bad. I don't want Saudis owning fighting game or game companies in general. I have not seen their who is it? NSK. Yeah, they haven't been doing well with SNK, so what gamers always keep an eye on this shit. So SNK is not doing very well. So what if they keep investing in Capcom and wanting more, which they eventually will in the future, depending on how things turn out. They would ruin Capcom. But yeah, hearing more of this is bad. And yeah, rip to Battlefield also once they get fully acquired. Comrade, anything?
Nothing much to add to this. Like I said, I think you guys had that talk earlier on fighting games. I don't know if you guys touched anything about uh the investments or anything like that, but
That's it. Nothing else. Let's continue.
our fighting game expert is currently been murdered by his cat, so he can't talk about it. His opinions on this.
He'll be fucking probably sad, but it's not that big yet. That whole 5% is not that big. Anyways, yeah.
It's an additional 5% compared to the other 5% that was owned by different Saudi companies. I believe what that says in
I
here.
don't know. It's just a bunch of hoopla at that point to me.
They own about different Saudi companies own about 10% of Capcom.
All right, you're giving me more bad news. I don't want to hear this shit. Moving on, said Matt Piscatella, which he was responding to somebody saying, yeah, that PS5 was the lead platform from Requiem in US during February. So, says PS5 was below 50% of the game's US full dollar price in the month, but it was the lead platform by a meaningful margin over PC because Capcom had recently came out talking about how PC is very important and PC might grow in the future, some type of stuff. I hate when game companies and stuff say PC will grow in the future, something like that. When right now people forget about reality, where building a PC right now is fucking expensive as fuck. We're talking about expensive. This is why I don't get when companies talk like this. That's such a weird fucking thing. But I think PCs in general though are still good in other countries that can't afford a PS5 and Xbox. But yeah, it's just a play on words. I just don't like that. Yeah, let's go with Matt Piscatella saying here year to date. This is the top selling games from 1/4 to 2/28, 2026. Requiem is number 1. Comrade, do you see that? No, you don't, because you don't fucking have this.
That's
Yeah.
right. I was about to say the results that say come out on Friday. I can't find those. Where is that? Thanks, Sub. I appreciate you letting me know that.
Oh shit.
Thanks for being so organized. I appreciate you.
Um so yeah, Resident Evil Requiem. Oh, here we go. Why did I click that? There we go. So, Resident Evil Requiem is number 1. The fuck shit. There we go. Number 2, NBA 2K. Black Ops still fucking selling. What the fuck? Madden, typical. It's USA.
Black Ops is the best of the Call of Duties, but apparently surprised that 7 is still selling. That's fucking crazy.
This is just reading all this, okay? Minecraft, sports, sports, yeah. All right, the one that's still okay out of this list, I'm not reading this whole shit. The ones that still impress me, okay. Grand Theft Auto 5. Holy shit, that shit is still selling like hotcakes, comrade. Red Dead Redemption 2. Still. Helldivers 2, comrade. Moved up from 15 to 10. Comrade, I know these numbers just may shed a tear because Warhammer can't pull these numbers, as I like to poke fun at you. But yeah, Helldivers is just fucking. Sony has a hit, yo. Sony had. I still don't understand how they could sell that shit. Kingdom Come Deliverance. That's surprising. It was on 13, 17. That's such a game nobody really talks about. I love that game, right? But Comrade, you don't hear people talk about that game like that.
It really isn't. Yeah.
That's such a
I mean,
weird
it is going down in rank, so people are
right.
talking
But
about it
I'm
less now.
saying to still be on the top 20 for this year, starting this year, weird.
Mhm.
But maybe because of the Game Awards. But yeah, anything you see in this list that surprises you?
The thing that kind of surprises me is honestly like the Pokemon Legends ZA. It hasn't moved at all. It's just solidly staying in 16, uh, which is either good news or bad news for Nintendo. I don't know. And another thing that does kind of surprise me, like I said, Pokepia has been popping off lately in a lot of stuff, but it doesn't make the list. So
Oh yeah, you're right.
I
What the
don't know.
fuck?
Yeah. So
Oh,
Pokepia has
it
been like the talk of town and everything.
probably next month, because March.
Maybe.
Well, we're still in March, right? Yeah, so we're gonna get those numbers. It's gonna be
Yeah.
because Resident Evil released what, February, right? Yeah, February 20 something.
No, that's true. That's true.
So
Oh,
this
this
is,
is
remember,
you're right.
that's
This is the
228.
228. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. That's
So
my
it'll
bad.
it'll 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 dominate. So yeah, no, but yeah, so far, any other surprises? Wait,
Uh,
I'm waiting for the Helldivers to hate. That's what I'm waiting for.
Helldivers 2 is solid.
It released 2 years
Sure.
ago. 2 years ago,
And that
yeah.
it's I was honestly, it is surprising that it's still going up in the ranking for best selling. That is surprising. 2 years and it's still selling well, like very well.
I'm gonna make sure. 2024, yeah, it did. Yep, yep. 2024, August. February 2024, yeah.
And it's still, I mean, another thing that surprises me is Red Dead Redemption 2. That's also still selling apparently really well.
Yeah, that okay. That surprises me because Red Dead Redemption, compared to Grand Theft Auto, doesn't really have a big ass fan base. That's why I'm personally shocked. Yeah, it came out in 2018, right?
Mhm.
But the Grand Theft Auto, is more of the media
Oh, 100%. Like, I'm
attractor
not
for.
surprised that GTA 5 is on here. I'm not surprised at all. I'm just surprised that Red Dead is still on here because, like I said, that Red Dead is not nearly as big of a following as GTA. GTA, 100% not surprised at all. Like that, I'm surprised it's honestly even, you so low on this list. It's what, at seventh. It actually go down a little bit to eighth, but I'm still, like I said, shocked that Red Dead is on here because I don't think Red Dead is nearly as big as GTA. But go ahead, sub.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say. I'm still so surprised by it. When we gonna play Helldivers 2, comrade? I know you're the Warhammer fan, but we gotta push you to that shit.
I'm gonna tell everyone right now. I have Helldivers 2 installed. I'm ready to play it. You just never want to play it with me.
Nah, I just ask you, and you're like, I'm tired. I just want to watch Instagram for three
Yeah, I have
hours.
more important things to do, like watch anime. No, whenever I want to play, Saab is like, nah. Whenever Saab wants to play, I'm busy doing work. So, it happens.
No. Anyways, moving on. We
I
don't
will
have to
never
read that.
admit it.
All right, so we're up to the PSSR rolled out March 16th. They announced it. That's a while ago. So everybody knows, or don't know, or already know. Resident Evil Requiem was the first official title to have the new PSSR, and it looks great. That's all I got from everything that's shown. I haven't used it. I have a PS5 Pro, but it's somewhere else, so I don't have it personally. I wish I could test these things, but I'm straight with my base PS5 so far. Um, I do like the Pro. The Pro has some. It does do well with other games personally that run a little less on the base, from what I realize personally. I can't be digital fire. I can't do all that shit, but that's all I know. But yeah, they announced it finally. Um, and from what Digital Foundry said, it's a big bump. They were talking about it as well, and it's just impressive. The whole tech is just people are talking shit about PSSR now, and I told Comrade, you just gotta give them a minute. You gotta give them a moment. Sony's engineers work magic. They're some of the best in the world in the entertainment business. They shit. They just work their magic. They work in cameras. They work on TV. They just know how to work magic. And yeah, you got Silent Hill F on the screen showing. They got Final. What the hell is this game? Can't remember what's that game. Oh, this is Dragon Age. Who the hell cares? Passing that. Alan Wake 2.
I care.
Nope. Moving on. Control. Okay. I like Remedy. They go back and update their old games very well. Kind of like how Ubisoft does it. I'll give props to Ubisoft. They always go back to their old games and release patches. And they've done it before. To their older games to make it run better. And I respect Remedy because of that. So yeah, this is a this is a competitor basically to like a DLSS and FSR. However, speaking of FSR, all the way down here, so you can turn off the new PSSR version. By the way, it shows you right here. You're gonna have a toggle choice. Like it says here, if it results in any unexpected visual effects, you can turn it off anytime. So yeah, it says right here, and
That's
please
kinda nice
note.
of them to do.
Go ahead.
That's actually kind of nice of them to have that as a toggle because, like I said, some people might not like it, or it might cause some weird kinks in some new games. So it's kind of good of them to release a toggle for it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Also, it
A
says
lot of
please.
people don't do that.
Yes. Also, please note that the algorithm and neural network using the new PSSR stem from our Project Amethyst partnership with AMD. This upgraded PSSR represents the very latest innovations in our co-developed technology. Stay tuned for AMD's next FSR update. The reason I talk about that is because they're still, from Mark Sony recently said that they are going to, I guess, bring FSR to PlayStation, which I don't get personally, but he's the expert in that field. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
I have no idea.
Comrade, you had a chance to get the PS5 Pro at like 5 something, I believe. Your ass did not get it, and I told you.
I chose not to get it because I already have a normal PS5. Why the fuck do I need to spend an additional $500 to buy a PS5?
Sell the other one. Sell it.
You're not gonna convince me that it's a good idea to have two PlayStations in the house. I only have me. I'm the only one who lives in my house. Why the fuck do I need two PlayStations?
I said sell your base. Sell it.
I know you're a PlayStation fanboy and that you're planning on buying everything PlayStation, including the PlayStation monitor whenever the fuck that comes out. But I'm not as big of a PlayStation fanboy as you. I don't need that many PlayStations. All right.
I says sell the base PS5.
I know you have like 10 PlayStation's controllers in your house right now that you don't ever use. I'm not as big as a PlayStation fanboy as you. I'm sorry, Saab.
Hey man, they gain trust from me, okay? Trust is important. Hey, at least I ain't an Xbox fan. Tell you that.
let me ask you though, did you read anything? How does this compare to actual DLSS 5? Because I know DLSS 5 has been getting a lot of
Man,
shit
I ain't
for it
talking about that
recently.
shit till next week. Fuck that shit. I'll take my damn time. There's enough backlash on that. That shit looks horrible.
Mhm, mhm,
There, yeah. Anyways, I think
mhm,
PSSR
mhm.
could eventually might challenge Nvidia one day, but I can't. Sony engineers, it's just work magic. I can't say they don't have a chance. They do everything. They do everything. These bastards. So yeah, and like I said, that's the reason why FSR is actually good as it is because they've been working with Sony engineers. Before FSR was fucking not even that great until the new FSR 4, whatever the fuck that was called, released. But that was at the time they were still working together with Sony. They started or they were working with together with Sony in secrecy or something like that, quietly, right? So that's what I told you. You remember I told you a while ago. I said FSR is only good because Sony engineers are there to point out a lot of stuff. I'm not saying AMD engineers are not good either, but Sony's are just on another level. Don't give a fuck. They're on another level.
Take your
So
word for it.
moving on. Fuck this shit. Um.
You are the expert in Sony
So
and all
this was
things PlayStation.
no, I'm not. Inside Gamer Tom Henderson exclusive. This was a big one. There was a lot of news, okay, but some of these are I don't know why people took this as a big one, but it says PlayStation will be dropping the PlayStation Network and PSN branding by September 2026. And it says in an email sent to developers seen by Insider Gaming, PlayStation will be dropping the PlayStation Network. Wow, you repeated that shit. Anyways, it said that the change will be purely visual and is means to properly capture the breadth of evolving digital service. So it says the full email reads, Jesus, fucking should have read that in the beginning. We'd like to inform you that Sony Interactive SIE has strategically decided to phase out terms PlayStation Network PSN across the platform in order to properly capture the breadth of what the fuck. This shit,
This
Tom Henderson.
email is literally this
Tom
email is
Henderson.
literally telling the same thing like 10 different times. It's a terrible article that you decided to choose
No, but Tom
on this.
Henderson
Yeah.
is he gets a lot, he gets stuff, but this whole whatever was just
I,
written
I
here,
I will say, like I said, Tom
that's
Henderson,
bad.
great guy. He gets a lot. We had a lot of his news in the past, but this particular article is, yeah, this is saying exactly the same thing like 10 different times. Like,
Eh, All right. So, anyways, all features currently associated with PSN core network, such as friends, multiplayer trophies, will remain unaffected and available to players. So, all right. So this thing started rumors, a boatload of them. Somehow, I don't even think it's Henderson who said this. I don't know if it's Henderson or Jason Schreier. That's so much news goes fast. Anyways, this news that broke out, people there was rumors that said, "Oh my god, they're starting to do their own PC launcher. That's why they're gonna put everything together and stuff, right?" However, Jason Schreier himself came out and said he doesn't understand. I think it was Jason Schreier something. Anyway, said that how did this PC launcher rumor start? He's pretty much asking when I think he said that the PlayStation Network and PSN branding is just gonna be phased out. You know, so some shit like that. I'm sorry, people, but it's just so much news and confusing at times. But yeah, Com Comrade, what do you think this is?
I mean,
Why do you think they're phasing out the names? It's just Sony.
people,
Sony
like
thinks
companies do. Yeah,
Sony,
go ahead, buddy.
they plan out stuff, right? This isn't some winning willy nilly stuff. They they have to evolve, and PlayStation is the biggest pie currently, and I believe, well, one of the biggest because Sony also runs military, life insurance, bank in their homeland. So, from what I know, PlayStation is still one of, if not the biggest pie of their section of entertainment.
Sony
So
is a massive corporation that does all gaming is gaming and hardware is just a small, tiny facet of what they do.
No.
They're
Hold on.
more of like
Don't disrespect Sony now. It
no, no,
started
no. I'm not
as an electronics
disrespecting them.
company.
Like,
They started
oh
as
no,
an
no,
electronics company.
they're. Oh, you're completely correct. But like now, they've evolved into so much more. Is what I'm saying. Like, I agree with you. I'm agreeing with you. However, like, I don't know. Like, companies phase out and rebrand all the time, so that's probably what this is. Like, I mean, this is if you remember back then, like they had that PlayStation Home, they had PlayStation Now, then they went to PlayStation Network. Like, they've been, and now they have that PlayStation Plus. Like, and they rebranded the PlayStation Network a lot of times. This isn't the first time that they changed PSN to something else. Like, it's been multiple different things over the years. So it's just not. It's I don't know what they're going to change it to. I'm assuming it's going to be that PlayStation Plus or whatever that they have now, PlayStation Premium, PlayStation Plus sort of thing that they have going on now. But
It's
it's not
weird.
surprising.
What would you call it? It says it's currently unclear on what the new name of the network will be. It's just weird because people like you and I are still gonna call it PlayStation Network even if they change it. But what would they change it to? Is it gonna be like a hub where it's just everything's gonna exist
Well,
on this
I don't
network?
know if you remember back in what was it like the early 2000s, they had that PlayStation Home,
Yeah, but
which
that
was
would
their like Sims version of PlayStation Home, and that was essentially the PSN. That was basically PSN because they had everything in there as like PlayStation Home.
I
Um,
that's because that's a I forget what the guy's name is. Some white guy, white dude, and he's the one who pushed for that PlayStation Home, and
I mean,
it worked. I don't know why they discon. That's the anyways. Yeah, I'm just remembering
and if
things.
I remember correctly, they updated to be like then they had PlayStation Now, which eventually became PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Premium. So I don't know. Like I said, they've gone through like a lot of iterations of the PSN. So I mean, it's not surprising. It just interesting to see that they're doing it now. And like I said, it's they're probably just trying to evolve. So I'm not surprised, but I don't know why they're doing it now. Like I said,
Anyways, that was just my curious thought. That's it because
I mean, in the
PlayStation
past, they've done this.
PlayStation just gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah, well, in
Well,
the past, they've done a rework or rebrand of PSN when a new PlayStation console was released, basically. They sort of just said every time, around the time a new console was released, they kind of rebranded the network to be something else around the same time. And now them doing it now is a little bit off timing and when they usually have done it. I mean, Xbox does the same thing, kind of. They reiterate. They don't rebrand their entire thing like this is, but they reiterate their whole network every time a console comes in because they have to evolve with the new generation of consoles. And I
so
think that's go ahead, what?
no, go ahead.
That's kind of what PlayStation might be doing. They're trying to go to the next generation of or preparing for the next generation of hardware that they're making.
I don't understand. It's just business moves, and if I everything is different nowadays. And remember, PlayStation used to sell movies within the PlayStation Store, and then they stopped that because not many people were buying shit. And then now they have a new thing called what the hell is it called? Place Sony Core Pictures, right? Do you know of it?
Uh, is the
Okay.
company like Sony Pictures? They
They
have
okay, so I'm gonna show it right here. So people right here says this is Sony Core Pictures. Oh my god. It made me choose a fucking thing. So this is only available on Sony Bravia TVs and PlayStation. It's called Sony Pictures Core, which you where you says right here, explore a huge selection curated just for gamers, next level picture and sound quality, PlayStation Plus Premium members enjoy the exclusive benefits, including a collection of 100 movies to stream ad-free. I think Sony is stupid sometimes. Well, actually, a lot of times. They're so smart and stupid at the same time. I feel like what they're doing with the rebranding is they it's the future, right? Everything like you know how Netflix tries to do their games, and when you have Netflix, you can play Netflix games, and you have it all under one roof. I wish that Sony would put it under one roof again. So you put maybe it might be PlayStation. I don't know why. I still don't understand why they just don't put a PlayStation app on fucking TVs and get the casual crowd to know, oh, that's a movie thing called PlayStation. It's just not for games, it's for movies. But maybe they'll rebrand it as that, right? I'm just thinking in the future. But yeah, anyways, fuck this shit. I'm moving on because my brain's going to explode with thoughts. Comrade, can you talk about this next one? The Subnautica
Which one
2.
is in?
Subnautica 2.
Subnautica 2 is back in the limelight, but this time for a much better reason. The last time I think, basically this was a while ago that essentially the Crafton fired their CEO and co-founder uh, of Subnautica 2 for basically undisclosed reasons. However, a lot of people and the owner and a lot of people.
It wasn't the disclosed reasons. That CEO was fucking trying not to pay that money and then asked ChatGPT
I was
to
just about
make
to
a
get to that.
fucking plan. That bitch ass motherfucker.
That,
Oh, well, God.
that yes, I know you're pissed off. I didn't even get to that point, but I can tell you're pissed off. It wasn't explicitly said, but it was strongly implied by a lot of insiders and a lot of people that basically it was if the game was going to get into early access by a certain time, which it was going to meet that deadline. It was going to get into early access. Uh, the Craft company was going to be able to give the development team a $250 million bonus. However, mysteriously, right before that
They also
deadline,
try. They also try to do sneaky shit where they talk to the CEOs to say, "Hey, we'll pay you and then 10 million or whatever more, but we won't." They want to get out of that 250 because they just wanted to pay the CEOs, then they won't pay as much the lower end. But the CEO said no to that. So good on them. Hell yeah. I'm not pissed. I just don't I just think it's stupid the way the CEO went through this shit. The other one.
so
Crafted.
yes, basically it was very shady shit, and the CEO was fired. Nobody got that $250 million bonus. And as a result, the game never reached early access yet. It's still being in development. However, recent news, which is good recent news, a judge found that Crafton had breached they basically breached contract and employees contracts and said it's valid and improperly seized operation and control. So as a result, basically they uh, the Crafton must immediately restore the CEO's access to the platform and is not allowed to impede his authority over the early access launch. Now, they also said that $250 bonus development team, that for the development team, the eligibility has extended up until September 15th, and that they're contractually obligated to allow them to extend it all the way up until March 15th of 2027. So this is just good news, basically. Like this is just very, very good news for the Subnautica team and the basically the developer, because like I said, he goes back to this game. He's able to basically push what his vision is of the game back. And I heard there's a lot of shit talk about how Crafton was imposing a lot of like AI assets and things like that. So hopefully Subnautica 2 is going to be able to like basically realign with what they actually want, and then release their early access and still get their $250 million bonus for all the team. Like that is all just very good news.
According to Gordon Crafton, CEO Chang Kim consulted ChatGPT multiple times to help how to message the leadership change to fans. This guy is
Yes, I
a
did see that.
fucking okay. So this is it, folks. A real leader, yes, you use the tools you have, right? But when you're actual a real leader and got experience, you should know how to talk to people. It's called leadership ability. When you need to consult ChatGPT multiple times, I think you are not best for your position. I understand it's a tool,
I
but
mean, I
when
understand using
you
ChatGPT after you've already completed an email to check, like, oh, is this, is this grammatically correct, or is this, good? Like,
this is not a
am I
leader,
using the
folks.
correct words?
This is
But if you're using ChatGPT repeatedly to try to like craft the email in its entirety, that's not how ChatGPT should be.
this is not a real leader in real life you want to work under. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm
Yeah,
highlighting this shit right now. And
ChatGPT is good, like you said, as a tool. I've always said that
it
AI is a tool, but not to this degree,
says right
is
here
what
in a
it's
statement,
implied.
Crafton said it disagreed with the ruling and that Subnautica 2 would soon be released. That means I feel bad for them. Because imagine the CEOs were reinstated, right? And you're walking into the shit, right? It is going to be the most awkward thing. They might find a lot of obstacles in their way.
Mhm.
So, oof, I don't know. I don't know. Like, if I was them, I would probably do my best, release this thing, right? Fully. And I don't know if
Mhm.
I would leave after that because you can't work under somebody um, that you had this whole shit with to what is it called? Uh, what? Whoa.
This whole basically conflict, yes, this whole conflict is it's going to be getting a lot of tension between them as well. Yes, I agree.
Yes, man,
But I
that's the
think their
most
best bet
awkward shit. It's like if you go and you go to work and you had an ex and you guys broke up, whomever, whatever side you're on, I don't give a fuck. But then you go continue to work there? Hell no, your ass would be leaving. This is so I would understand. I would stay to fulfill that 250, give the employees the money, but after that and see the full release of the game, but then after that, I don't know, man. I would tell everybody I got to go. Like it's not them, it's just the awkwardness of working that. It's just too awkward. You're gonna see more news about this Subnautica team and Craft in the future with all this drama
there's going to
shit.
be definitely there's going to be more drama coming out of them. I guarantee it. Um, I still think, like I said, I think their best course of action is honestly to go in there, get as much as they can to try to fix what's going on, and then just release the game in that early access. If it's in that early access, they can. The Subnautica 2 fans, the fans of Subnautica 1, know kind of what to expect, what they want, and then they can get that early feedback from the fans in the early access and make the game into like a proper, like their proper vision of the game into a more complete experience. But I think their best bet is honestly to flesh it out as much as they can to get into that early access. Because that's kind of what they did with Subnautica 1 and with their with the the ice expansion that I can't remember what the name of it is. But they released it in an early access and then they fixed it and made it completed it through early access. And honestly, that's kind of what they should do with this because at this point, I don't think they're going to be able to make a complete game under all this, scrutiny and tension that's going on in the company right now.
The only way I could see this not being a drama, phew, and this is a big maybe because CEOs and those type of upper people they hold a lot of grudge and um they have a lot of power to make obstacles. So it's only to make money. That's it. It's only to make money. It's only if this game can make a buttload of money, like more than what the 250 million payout is, um, way more, then they'll look good. Maybe the investors and the people that probably it's not even the CEO that might have said, "Oh man, it was just him," right? It probably was other upper people he had friends with in his ear. I'm just guessing. Probably investors talking in his ear saying this just doesn't look good because obviously you don't pay people like this exorbitant amount. But if this game can earn way a lot of money, then investors might change their black heart and say, you know what? Yeah, we're just gonna hold it. That's just oof. That is just the teeniest tiny slither of realignment in that space. That's just me. Other than that, I got nothing else to say.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I got nothing else.
So moving on, let's go to impressions. Comrade.
Comrade's game impressions are limited because yes, as I've told Sub, I've been
He's been working. That's it.
struggling to. I've been working, but I've also been fighting my OBS to work correctly because it
He's
is
lying. He's lying. He
glitching
just
out.
doesn't want to. He's
Freaking the
lying.
fuck out.
He's lying because he just wants to go on Instagram and watch shorts and TikTok and all that and watch anime.
Yes, definitely not the fact that I tried to record on Twitch 3 times recently, and each time the game it's just frozen and it's glitchy and it's really bad quality, and I don't understand why. I've been messing around with the settings, and I've been trying to figure out why it's doing that. I think if you really want proof, Sob, there is still one of my VODs still up that recently when we tried to play Apex, and it was a
What?
good game. Yeah, I
It's
have
up?
a VOD on my Twitch. It's up there still,
I'm
but it's
pulling it
no,
up.
no, no, on my Twitch. It's not
I'm
on my.
pulling
It's
it
not on
up.
the YouTube. It's bad though. The quality, it looks like shit. Like I don't understand why it's so bad. Like it confusing me.
Comrade touched
So yeah,
something.
we did it. Yeah, I did mess something up on my OBS, and it just fucked everything up. So I'm in the process of trying to figure that out.
What?
However,
It says I can't play it because of additional qualities may be available. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna show. Go ahead, continue.
but that's really what I got. I've been, like I said, busy at work, but also uh, we doing that. And honestly, like I said, it's busy work, busy games. I'm gonna try to play some other games. I got some things that I want are lined up in my gaming repertoire here, but like I said, I just can't do anything until I try to figure out what the hell is wrong with my OBS. So when I do that, I'll play some games. But until then, it's kind of shit.
What do you mean? I'm watching it.
I mean, you'll notice, like for example, at minute 247, like just right there, it's just freezes, completely just frozen,
Hold
and
on.
I don't know why. Like it just freezes. Doesn't show the gameplay, and it does that multiple times
What the
throughout
hell? Why can't I
the
show this
video,
shit?
and I don't know.
Go ahead.
Like
Comrade, go
we're
ahead.
talking, we've already landed. We're like in this minute. We're already landed. Like we're already in the middle of the game, like shooting people, fighting a game, and it doesn't even show us like we've landed yet, like in the VOD. So I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't know if it's an OBS thing or if it's an internet thing. I don't know.
It's lagging. It's so bad. Look at this. 316,
I'm aware.
317, 318, 319. It keeps
Yeah, and
going.
like I said, it's not something that's happened before. I don't know what the fuck is going on. My internet is the same. Like I checked my internet speed after I saw the VOD. I checked my internet speed. I got the speed test says I got 600 download speed. So I'm fucking balling with the internet speed. I don't know what the fuck's going on, so I have to figure that shit out. It's a work in progress.
Yes, Comrade. This is bad. Holy shit! Look
Yeah,
at
oh, I'm aware. It's extremely fucking bad. I'm aware.
that. Still watching it.
But yeah,
Holy shit! It
back
keeps
to you.
going. No, no, no. I'm watching this. Shit's bad. Fix this shit.
Oh, listen, I'm trying. I told you, I'm working on it.
Man, this shit's sad. Anyways, tell the people what anime you've been watching while I look this thing up.
While you're looking at what?
Looking this thing up.
Well, anime I've been watching. Oh, recently I've been watching. One that I actually started watching recently was the Rising of the Shield Hero. I've heard that one is a decent one.
All right, I'm back.
And now Saab is back, and I don't get to talk about what I think about anime. That's fine.
That's correct. So I've been continuing the stream Resident Evil 4, the original, not the but because there's a remake out. That's why I call it OG. Man, the latest one was yesterday. Playing going to this section, fighting this boss. Holy shit. It was pissing me the hell off. So I beat this game countless times on pro difficulty, normal, whatever, right? I love this game, okay? I love this game. This is one of my most favorite games of all time. Like I said before, I don't know if I said it again. Just because you love something doesn't mean you can't dislike it at times, right? You can't hate something, right? Like a family member. Man, this game was fucking pissing me off. I was getting hit by things that I shouldn't have gotten hit by, where I pressed the button. Just, it pissed me the hell. It was 2 hours of fucking, like, I know what I'm doing. I beat this countless times, right? But that was when I used to play the game. And now obviously my brain is telling me one thing and my hands do something else. So it's just it's annoying right now. And that's the only reason why it's annoying. But other than that, I'm enjoying the hell out of this game. Like, it just, ooh, such a fun game. I suck so bad that the area I'm in, which is 4-2, it took me 15 hours to get there, okay? I have my old pro save, which I don't think I ever beat, like I said, because I think life had intervened at that time. And it showed that I was at chapter 5, area 2, at 12 hours with only 25 saves. While my current one has over 45 saves, over 15 hours, and I just got to 4-1 or 4-2. So you can tell by those numbers, I was way better back then. I was flying through the game.
As you're an old man, your reflexes are not as what they used to be back in the day.
No, it's not that. No, it's just because I haven't played the game in the last game I played, that last save I played was like about 9 years ago. So that's when I was actually beating it like multiple times. Because right now, total hours on this game, I have about 52 or 54 hours. So that's how much I've been playing the game. This is not with PS2 numbers as well. That's PS4, the PS4 version alone. It was already at 48, 49 hours, something like that. So I was playing this game like crazy. I was enjoying this game because it's only 12 hours, the main campaign. So obviously I beat it multiple times. So that's what I'm saying. It's not, I just been playing this game like crazy. So coming back after 9 years, and trying it again on pro, mind you. I'm not playing on normal. I'm playing on pro. Yeah. So you can see that I haven't, I haven't played in a while, basically. So yeah. But yeah, what was I gonna say? There's something else about this game. What else? What the fuck? I don't remember. Anyways, this game is fun as hell.
How you're getting absolutely shit on by random enemies that make
random
shots from across the map.
Yes. Okay, so this game at the time had adaptive difficulty, meaning it has a I don't know, some kind of system that tells when you're doing well. So if you're killing enemies really fast, I think it also depends on the items you have. It somehow reads how well you play. So your normal difficulty will be different to somebody else's. So if you kill certain enemies really easily, it'll send a different type of enemy. So it might send one that throw. It might send like, let's say a group comes and there's one that throws an axe, right? There's only one, right? But down the line, it knows that you're killing the rest quickly, so it'll probably send two up close and then three throwers to throw you off. So somebody else, if they're not good enough, it'll probably give them more people who to come up close and still keep that one range enemy. So the game has this adaptive difficulty. It's pretty neat. That's what keeps the game very replayable, actually. Very replayable, because you could have one run where you're really good, right? And you play the game a long time, and then you start running into BS, which can happen due to the adaptive difficulty, so it'll adjust. It also randomizes the item pickups. So you can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to that box. It's going to be the same ammo all the time," right? You break something, it's going to be something else. It might be health, might be ammo for a gun you don't need. So it's very random at times. So yeah, the game can really just, and it's just. I'm playing on pro difficulty. I don't know if it has adapted difficulty because it's on pro, so it might be at the max. But I had this section where I was stuck in a maze with dogs. So every time I ran around the corner at this section, it brought two dogs. Okay, I was dying a lot. Eventually, the game, and I'm not going crazy, it's only sent one dog. And I'm like, I felt disrespected. I said, hell no, I don't suck that bad. Fuck you. Send that second dog, yo. But it never did, because I eventually completed it with that one dog that appeared instead of the two. So, yeah, I don't
Game
like.
had skill issue and said this man needs to lower the difficulty.
So yeah, the game is fun. Like, hell yeah. I've never played the remake as of yet, and I want it so bad. Like, I know that'll be my favorite. And that game too also has adaptive difficulty with new mechanics and all that. So yeah, I always recommend Resident Evil 4 to everybody. Like, it is well, I try to, because not everybody can play everything, but like Comrade here, he wouldn't play. He says he won't play because he doesn't like scary games, but it's not a scary game. It's more action than, Dead Space is. He likes Dead Space, and Dead Space, they've admitted pretty much through media that Resident Evil 4 is the inspiration for them. They love that game. Resident Evil 4 just inspires so many games. That I love that game. I love that game, Resident Evil 4. Everybody should play it. Comrade should fucking play it. Still don't understand why he doesn't play it. I would not recommend Resident Evil 2 for Comrade, because that's just too scary. That would be too scary for him. Or Resident Evil 7, that's too scary for him. But 4, mwah, wonderful. Right, Comrade? No, Comrade would never play it. Probably.
I mean, I might. None of the Resident Evil games are really what I'd consider scary.
No, they are scary, Comrade. You only played Resident Evil 5 because that's not. That's just a sequel. That's
Resident
after.
Evil 5 and 6 are pure action. They're not scary. Even
This.
Requiem is. I don't. They're scary in a sense, but they're basically action games where you don't have that survival aspect, survival horror. It is survival horror in no sense, but it is like you have so many resources. Even Requiem, in a sense, not nearly as much as the other ones, but at least the Leon sections where there's no real fear of being. There's no real fear. You're literally fucking the hero. You have so much resources in 5 and 6 that you don't ever really fear the unknown because you have so much fucking bullets and so much fucking lead. Like it's not real
So
in a
yeah.
sense that, or yeah. But go
So
ahead.
everybody should play the OG Resident Evil, because it's a good game still, and the remake, because the remake is also top notch from what I've heard, and I try not to see any images or or streams of that because I want the pure experience of enjoying something that I love being remade into something still awesome, and I just want to no spoilers basically because it's still different at the time for what it is. So yeah, one day I'll stream that. I'll get in stream it. Also I will be streaming Resident Evil 2 remake after Resident Evil 4 because I am not good at the original Resident Evils. So one day I will tackle those. Those are on my list. But for now, I'm just gonna play the remake, Resident Evil 7 after the remake. So I'm playing these Resident Evils to the point the ones I have. I'm not trying to buy any new ones right now because I got a backlog. But yeah, people, if y'all want to watch more Resident Evil and get my ass kicked, I will not be playing Resident Evil Remake 2 Remake on Pro. I'm just going to play that on normal. The only reason I'm playing this on Pro because I love this freaking game. I beat it so many times that at least I'm somewhat competent even though I'm getting my ass fucking kicked in this game. So yeah, people stop by, please and thank you. Other than that, Comrade, you got anything to say?
That's all I got.
Are you going to be playing anything soon? Once you get free?
I have things on the list, but like I said, priority is to figure out why the hell the stream doesn't work.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Then once I figure that out, then I'll actually plan out my next move here.
All right. So,
there's
go
a few
ahead.
things that I'm interested in, like I said, but they're not out yet.
Okay. Well, say it then. The fuck? Say it!
I mean, one game I'm interested in is called Wild Blue Skies. That's if you there's a trailer for that. There's a demo on Steam that I kind of interested in trying to play. It looks like the classic like Star Fox on the rails sort of adventure. I mean, it's even got the animals and shit, but the whole premise is like I said, it's a action-packed nostalgic journey from like basically the Star Fox of the 90s. So, I'm interested in checking that out. Playing the demo. Maybe if I can figure out OBS, I'll put it on
What
channel or
is
record
this
it. But
game? This Star Fox ass game?
that's what I just said. That's exactly what I just said. That's kind of
Star.
why I'm interested in trying to. Star
That's a
Fox is a great game. It's a classic.
the Star Fox
I just
game.
literally.
I think it should evolve. Like this point of view. I understand this because I've played Star Fox and Star Fox 64 for a while, for a long time. All that bullshit. But I think it should evolve into like being an open world space. That would be
I
the
mean,
next
Star
step.
Fox that hasn't had a fucking entry in forever, bro. It has been
I
gone
think
for a
that's
long
because I
time.
think they're trying to figure out what to do because you can only release so many Star Foxes with this same gameplay. You know what I mean? You always have to improve. Always have to improve. And some games are replayable. And I don't think Star Fox, this type of style, is replayable to making like 10 games in a row. Mario, you can. Platforming, you can't. You know what I mean? But this type, yeah, you're gonna need to. Can't be like Ace Combat where you have 7, 8 games, right? But the gameplay is so well done. Like, but with Star Fox, I don't think you could do that. But that's just my opinion. Nobody kill me on that. But that's just proof for me that they haven't made a
I
bunch of
agree,
games.
and like I said, that's interesting. Like I said, I'm interested in checking this one out.
Yeah, it looks
But
fine. It looks good. It's
a
just
little
that
sneak peek on my games on my list. That's all I got for
that's all
now.
you got.
For now, I said for
All
now.
right. So,
A little sneak peek into my lineup.
all right. So people, we are Gaming 2 Cents showing here. The last thing we had was our friend Lucas doing Arkham. The next episode will be posted Wednesday. And we got Half Big. He played this game called Thysastery. So yeah,
I wouldn't even
check it
try
out.
it. I don't want to butcher that. I'd
I'll
have to
butcher
even
it.
try it instead of that.
So yeah, like and subscribe, like and dislike. Subscribe if you find us cool or check out more of our stuff. We appreciate your time to check it out. Leave comments. Comrade, you got anything to say before we go?
Comrade Beard signing off.